Hey everybody, how's it going? Hope you're having a lovely day. This video is going to be on what is, in my opinion, the worst company of the year. And the sad thing is that I don't feel like I'm being hyperbolic here. I keep saying this over and over again. It's just every time one thing happens, somebody else happens to just so happen to one-up them and do something even worse. Welcome to today's episode of How You're Getting Fucked. I'm your host, Louis Rossman. Today, we're going to be discussing Photobucket, which in my opinion is the worst company of the year. If after this video, the FTC or a state consumer protection agency does not take immediate action, shame on them. So, let's take a look at this. Photobucket recently emailed people saying that they've uploaded a new terms of service, they've changed their terms of service, and you must read it. So I decided that we'd read through some of this terms of service to see if it's actually as bad as a lot of the hubbub on the internet is talking about. As I say, always go to the source material. So if you take a look at this terms of service, which is not going to show up because I don't know how to use OBS Studio after 12 years on YouTube because I am a fucking schmuck. Here we go. Let's take a look at this terms of service. So let's scroll down to this section. In particular, to the extent permitted by the laws of your region, you grant us the right to commercialize, including the right to license or sell your public user uploaded content to third parties for the scanning and processing of public user uploaded content, including extracting physical features of your biometric information solely for the purposes of artificial intelligence and machine learning training and the subsequent uses derived therefrom. The law in areas such as data privacy is continually changing. Is it? Do we have any data privacy protections in the United States of America? If you notice something amiss, please contact us at support@photobucket.com and we will review and remedy the issue as appropriate. By agreeing to this biometric policy, you grant Photobucket, to the extent permitted by the laws of your region, the right to sell, lease, trade, or otherwise profit from the disclosure of your public user uploaded content which may contain biometric information that can be extracted. Biometric information refers to data that depict or describe physical, biological, or behavioral traits, characteristics, or measurements of or relating to identified or identifiable person's body. Biometric information includes, but is not limited to, depictions, images, descriptions, or recordings of an individual's facial features, iris, retina, finger, or handprints. You're going to sell my fucking fingerprints. Biometric information also includes data derived from such depictions, images, descriptions, or recordings to the extent that it will be reasonably possible to identify the person from whose information the data had been derived. By way of example, both a photograph of a person's face and a facial recognition template, embedding, face print, or other data that encode measurements or characteristics of the face depicted in the photograph constitute biometric viewer. I cannot believe what I read. You're always talking about rapists and all that. It really feels like that way reading these new terms. I contacted them and asked for my data and all they have on me to be deleted. And so should you. We've talked a lot about on this channel how you have a lot of these companies that are doing a lot of this forced arbitration thing where in order to opt out of some of these things, sometimes you have to log in, and in order to log in, you need to accept the new terms of service. Like a chicken and the egg problem here. And then you have the bullshit where, it's like to opt in, click a button, to opt out, certified mail to this particular address, this particular form, with a return receipt and everything else, ensuring that it is as difficult and painful for a normal user that doesn't have a fucking postage printer in their house and an account for Indicia or Stamps.com to opt out as humanly possible. It's by design. As it says in their email, these changes take effect on July 22nd. By continuing to use Photobucket services, such as having us store your uploaded content after July 22nd, you consent to the updated terms of use, the updated privacy policy, and the new biometric information privacy policy. How is it that without hitting agree that I've consented? Let's say that I haven't logged into the website for a month. Can you imagine if your bank did this? By the way, we have the right to take your money at any given time for no reason. Respond to this email to opt out within 2 weeks, or we can do that. You don't check your email for 3 weeks, you log into your account, and your retirement's gone. You think that that's hyperbole. You think that's a slippery slope fallacy. This entire channel for the last 12 years has been evidence of the slippery slope fallacy itself being a fallacy when it comes to consumer protection law in the United States, when it comes to right to repair, when it comes to the general concept of ownership, or when it comes to EULA roofing. In the email they send customers, These changes take effect on July 22nd. By continuing to use the Photobucket services, such as having us store your uploaded content after July 22nd, you consent to the updated terms of use and the updated privacy policy, and the new biometric information privacy policy. So what they're saying there is that they genuinely believe that they have the ability to opt you into this. You must opt out. They can change the terms of the agreement to the point where they can essentially sell everything about you, down to the point where the only thing that they are not requesting from you is your fucking blood itself. And they're allowed to do that without you hitting I agree. Now, you may think, well, Lewis, you have your photos on their services. I don't give a fuck. I have a business where you're allowed to drop devices off for data recovery. If you drop off a clicking hard drive with me, am I allowed to change the terms of the agreement that you signed when you left it here? You sign an agreement when you leave something at Rossman Repair Group. Let's say I say that I'm changing the terms of service for having a data recovery before my Rossman Repair Group. You have 3 days to respond to this message and opt out, or we will assume that you're opting in. And the terms of service of my new policy says that I'm allowed to, I don't know, go through your data and find your sex tapes and upload them to Facebook. No, really, that happens. Oh wait, no, I forgot. I'm not Apple. I don't do that here. But I could. All I got to do is send you an email and say, we're changing the terms of the sale. Pray they don't change further. If you don't respond in the next 90 seconds, I have the right to take your MacBook, throw it at a wall, break it over my knee, and accept your money anyway. In what fucking world? We pay taxes for this. Do keep in mind that we actually pay taxes in the United States of America to consumer protection agencies. And the funniest part of this entire thing is they actually talk about FTC definitions of things. It's almost like they are just trolling you to the fact that they're talking about obeying the law to some extent. So it is talking about different state laws. Within the biometric policy, we generally adopt the Federal Trade Commission's definition. No fear. They know they're never going to get punished. And if they do actually get fined, well, they're probably just going to be paying something like 0.02% of their net profit for the year. Not even revenue, net profit. Read the primary document yourself. We actually pay taxes in the United States of America that go towards funding these consumer protection organizations that don't protect us from anything. They've asked for essentially everything other than my blood. Do keep in mind, a lot of people log into Photobucket with their names, and sometimes they upload files to Photobucket with the names of the people in the photo. So you're essentially giving them a license to take every single piece of identifying information about you, use that to train AI, and then sell that information to whoever they please. And there's nothing you can do about it. If you don't read the email in time, they have the right to do it. If that email went to spam, you don't have to click I agree, nor do they care if you consent. Am I allowed, and people really get mad when I use the R word about this, but I don't care. It describes what they're doing. If you can't hear me ask you out on a date, does that mean that I'm allowed to assume the answer was a yes and just grab you anyway? Tell me that that's not the same mentality. Not the same thing, but the same mentality. Try. If a federal consumer protection agency or a local consumer protection agency does not do something about Photobucket in the next 2 weeks, you know that your tax dollars in this particular area are just being fundamentally wasted. You're putting them into a shredder at this point. This whole bullshit where you can change the terms of the sale after the sale and have it be opt out rather than opt in, or just force people to log in, which requires they hit accept to this type of shit, it should be illegal. You shouldn't be allowed to do this. I would not be able to get away with this. I can't do that. I fundamentally, as a data recovery company, as a component level repair business, be honest here. Do you think I would be able to get away with emailing my customers and saying the terms of the sale have changed? If you want to have your data recovered by me, I have the right to look through all of your things. You have 1 day to opt out, and if you don't opt out, I'm going to look through all your data and I'm going to give it to whoever the fuck I please. I can't do that. I can't get away with that. If I sell a laptop that I have a full fucking paper trail for, I get fined for breaking a law that the city can't even pronounce. I get audited for 1.5 years, and they ask for almost my entire net worth plus several $100,000, only to find out that I actually had a 0.01% or 0.1% error rate. After that, a few days later, funny coincidence, I get audited again, and just a few days ago, it finished with a 0% error rate. I'm not asking for a different set of rules to be applied to me than to others. I'm not asking for there to be a different level of scrutiny for me than others. What I'm asking is that the same level of scrutiny that gets applied at the federal, the state, or the city level to a 4 to 7 employee Bad News Bears, Sanford and Son little MacBook repair shop that would be applied to a 20 or 200 million or $2 billion or $2 trillion organization. That's all I ask. And seeing this type of shit happen over and over and over again, it brings out the Frank Grimes in me. It brings out the Marvin Haymeyer in me. It just like, copium. I need copium. Sweet copium. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. Would you ever use Photobucket again? Do you believe that anybody should use Photobucket again? What would you do if you had a friend that used Photobucket? And above all, do you think that either state or federal consumer protection agencies will do anything about it? If they don't, what should we do about it? What should we do about it? Something to think about. Something to think about. That's it for today. And as always, I hope you learned something. Remember, your continued engagement, your continued pushing for things is why right to repair legislation passes, is why when bullshit right to repair laws pass, we try to get better ones passed. It's how we push for both cultural and legal change. It starts with you. I'll see you in the next one. Bye now.